Hey, so I'm just doing a very quick video today because it's really, really hot today. It's sweltering. I went to my comic shop, which is why I'm doing this video. Got there early. I'll get there early before the heat really rises. Got there just after, it's about 9:45. And after being in there for 10 minutes, I was just drenched out. I just felt so sorry for the people working there because they had like the rest of the day to cope with this heat. And comic shops are never great for when it's warm. Um, but yes, I didn't really dilly dally. Just picked up my dilly dally. What an old word that is. I just picked up my comics order, and I did pick up two other things. And I have had two deliveries today through the post as well. But we'll come to those in one second. We'll look at what I got from my pull list. Yeah, I think there's only 9 issues today, and it is virtually half Image and half DC. I think there's 4 Image and 5 DC. So yeah, enough preamble. Let's have a look. We'll start with Image first. So first up is the black and white version of Do a Powerbomb by Daniel Warren Johnson. I had the first issue of this when it came out in colour, and somehow I never got around to getting the other ones. I think it was before I was really on the Daniel Warren Johnson train. It was Murder Falcon that really turned me onto his work, so I kind of came to him backwards. So I was going to get the trade paperback, but it always seems to be really expensive, the trade paperback. So when I saw they were doing this, I'll get this. So it's coming out in 3 oversized soft covers. It's all black and white. There's about 50 odd pages in each issue. And yeah, can't wait to dive into this because I am now a convert to the Church of Daniel Warren Johnson. I think this will be a nice way to read it, and nice to read it just before the release of his new series, which is coming out in November. And also from Image, we have World Tree number 21. I adore World Tree. I really love the whole mystery of it. A great cyberpunk thriller, horror thriller. Yeah, just gorgeous. Great artwork. Sadly, this is the last issue until the winter, but I'd rather wait a few months as long as if it means keep the same team on. And spinning off from Exquisite Corpses is a miniseries focusing on Rascal Randy. This is by Tyler Boss on writing, and who's the artist is really nice. Dylan Bennett, never come across him before. Colours by Jody Blair, Becca Carey on letters. But I really do like this art. In fact, I think I prefer it to the art style what they had in the main series of Exquisite Corpses. So yeah, I know a few people. I know Greek Geekaholic, for one of them, was just kind of worn out with the Exquisite Corpses universe. I like it. I don't mind. I really do enjoy this universe. So maybe it's because I'm biased because I do like anything that James Tynion puts his hand to. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this delving into the backstory and history of Rascal Randy. And the last, but by no means least, Image comic I got was Masked, issue number 2. I never thought I'd be enjoying a comic based on the defunct 80s toy line, but it's by Dan Waters on writing, Piper on art, with colours by Pellugi Casalino on colours, Russ Woodson on letters. It's great fun. The only other ongoing Energon series I get is G.I. Joe, and this tickles a similar itch, but you know what? It gives because it gives me a flavour in a weird kind of way. I know this is a strange comparison of Thunderbirds. That's what I feel with all these cars can adapt to different things. Like this one goes underwater, this one that goes in the air, and so on. So yeah, I get a very, very strong Thunderbirds vibe. And you know what? I would love for Jerry Anderson to take over by Image. Could you imagine a Captain Scarlet comic or a Thunderbirds one or Joe 90 or the Secret Service? Oh, it'd be great. Yeah, I'm a big Jerry Anderson fan, but there we go. That's a real digression. And then we'll move on to DC. So issue 2 of Absolute Catwoman. Gorgeous art again by Van written by Shea Anderson and is it Shea Anderson? Shea Grayson, sorry, and Scott Snyder. One thing I will say though, there's one little panel that is really weird. The face seems just unusual. This one here. That just seems really odd. That's the only critique I can give to the art. Apart from that, it looks a gorgeous comic. Then we got Absolute Batman number 22. 22 issues, that's good going. You could learn a thing from DC Marvel. Scott Snyder, but instead of it being Nick Dragotta, it is Deladera. Wilfred Deladera, the artist of Something is Killing Children, with colours by Frank Martin as per usual. I like the arts, but I like Something is Killing Children as well. I think it's a really nice fit for Absolute Batman. So it looks like this delves more into the origin and backstory of this universe's version of Harley Quinn. So yep, happy with that. And then we've got Fury of Firestorm. I do love the covers on this Firestorm series. As I said, it could be finishing at either 8 or 9. All depends if Jeff Lemire has more story in him. I hope it gets extended. But I'm enjoying this. And as I said before, I know it gets... People either love it or people either like, it's not like the old Firestorm. It's not, but I'm enjoying it. And I like the old Firestorm. I think I'm just not very sentimental. As long as I can see characters that I like being reinvented in great, exciting ways, then I'm all for it. So, yep, happy to dive into that one. I think I'm saying dive a lot because I'm imagining water because it's so hot. And I've got Barbara Gordon issue number 3, Breakout. I really enjoyed the first 2 issues. I'm loving this. Whenever I read it out, I always do have the theme music from Prisoner of Cell Block H playing in my head. I don't know if I'm meant to, but that's just me. If you know what I'm on about. But yeah, I really enjoyed the first 2 issues, so I'm looking forward to diving more into this prison mystery. I did not have a choice with this issue. With this cover, I normally just get the A covers. Unfortunately, my shop, they said we just got sent all these B covers or the cardstock covers. They didn't send us any A covers, and we had to fill the orders. So, fortunately, I get a 15% discount because I'm lovely and I have a standing order with them. So it didn't really dent my wallet, my purse that much, but it's a nice variant cover by Ariel Olivetti. But I do get the original cover inside as well. So yeah, this is such a joy of a comic, so can't wait to read that. But that's not all. Like I said, there is 2 what I'll call nostalgia / sentimental comics, and then 2 orders through the post. I'm just going to show you those now. And I'm going to keep this very quick because I'm sweating. So first up is this huge facsimile Treasury edition, as you can see. This is Secret Origins of Supervillains. I used to love a comic that they had in the 70s called Secret Society of something like the Secret Society of Supervillains. Something, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but I know the Joker was like one of the ringleaders. I just loved it when it was focusing on the bad guys. But yeah, normally this is $12.99, but it only cost me. They reduced it down to £3. But with my disc, the gate said, "Oh, fuck it, you're a loyal customer," and they knocked it down to £2 for me. So can't wait. I love how it's on newspaper print and it's oversized. I'm going to be very quick because my camera's overheating because of the heat. And then Mad. I did not know the shop started selling Mad. So I've got a huge affection for Mad. It's one of those where, yeah, not every gag hits, but it's still fun. And I like how they're doing it now, where it's a mix of classic strips and some new ones as well. So you've got some favourites, Spy versus Spy, the film pastiches, etc. And yeah, I used to get this in my local newsagents when I was a kid, and when I was an early teen as well. For some reason, they always managed to get it in, and they had like a really good spinner rack with American comics back in the 70s and 80s. And another thing I like it always reminds me of when I was at my last year in primary school. I won the art competition, and the vicar, because we were Church of England school, gave me a voucher, and I went to my comic, gave me £10, I think it was, which made me feel like I was a millionaire. So I got some books, and one of the books I got from my newsagents, which I had in the spinner rack, was the Don Heck Mad paperback. So yeah, I have a lot of history with Mad magazine. So I put it on my pull list. So I said, yeah, whenever we get it in, we'll put it back for you. And I do like this cover. So let's just have a look at what came through the post. Sorry, I paused too early. If you follow me on Threads, I've been hyping up that I've been looking forward to getting this. And this is the Micronauts For fuck's sake. Yeah, this is the Micronauts, the New Voyages. So it's the final book of the Micronauts Epic Collections. And I've not got the other Micronauts ones, so why have I picked this one up, you're asking? Because in '84, I think it was, they relaunched the Micronauts with Volume 2. And as it says here, it's the New Voyages. It was by Peter Gillis and Kelly Jones. Yep, that Kelly Jones of Sandman and Deadman, etc. fame. And they basically moved away from like the battles with Baron Karza, and they went to these new universes, and there's these new weird stories. And this was the first time I collected Micronauts every month. I was able to get it every month from, I think it was W.H. Smith's in Blackburn. I lived in Blackburn as a child, well, young teen. So yeah, no, it wasn't Blackburn. It was in Bury. Sorry, I got it from my comic shop not in Bury. Oh, for fuck's sake, in Manchester. I'm having a senior moment. It's the heat. I'm just getting my ages wrong, but yeah. So I used to get this every month, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I did get a few of the volume one. I got like they did this like special edition reprints of like the Michael Golden stuff. So I did have that in my collection back in the day. But this was my Micronauts, this version. So I'm so pleased to have it. All 20 issues. I will be reading that very shortly. And also, I've got from DC Finest Green Arrow, the Trial of Oliver Queen. So it's got some of the great run by Mike Grell. But it also has, which I don't think I've read some of this, the Black Canary strips from Action Comics when it was a weekly. This looks really great. The artwork is done by Randy DeBerk, who, why do I know useless facts like this? Good God. Who was the artist on when they rebooted Arion, who did that. There was that long running series by, I think it was Paul Kupperberg, and who's the artist? John Ostrander's wife. The name escapes me now. But anyway, they then did a 6-issue miniseries, and Randy DeBerk was the artist on it, and he stuck in my head thinking, I like this, his style. So I'm pleased that he did the art in this. So yeah, this looks really good. Again, I'll be diving into that very soon. But at present, I am reading. I did start it a while ago, but I picked it up again last night because I wanted just to read like something I could dip in and out of. So I've heavily gotten into DC Finest Western. And I just started it again last night, and I'm on page 135. Really enjoying this. One of my favourite DC Finest so far. Highly recommend you picking this up. Once I've finished it, I will be doing a look through and a review of it, highlighting which are my favourite stories. So that's it for today. Tomorrow, I will be hopefully in front of the camera, because it does feel weird just being a talking hand all the time. It's just been too hot. And if I tried to do it with makeup on, I'd look like that final scene in Raiders Lost Ark, Lost Ark even, where the face starts melting. But I hope to looking to hopefully doing a video or two tomorrow of maybe a review or a recommendation. Okay, bye.